between African Americans who have now lived in Kenya for a few years and the locals. We're hearing about it. Like you said, this is a new thing, and it's creeping up. We know about the friction that existed here in the U.S. between the African population and the African Americans. So how does that friction look like, and how can it be minimized here?
I'm not privy to the heavy friction that's going on with the population that has already been living here. I think there's a community of about 200 African Americans that have been living here already. But what I will say is that there has been Kenyans who have commented on my interviews, and I did a interview with Lynn.
Lynn Ngugi.
Ngugi.
Yes.
Gotta get that pronunciation. Yes. Ngugi.
Gogi. Yes, I mess her name up all the time. But great interviewer, love her. And there were a few Kenyans under the comment section who was adamant about not wanting African Americans to come to Kenya. Most of them think that we're all from West Africa. And a lot of them are saying, like, why was the land given to us and all this other extra stuff. And what I have to say to those Kenyans who feel that way, it is your right to feel that way. And I will never try to combat that. However, you have the right to do that. That doesn't mean that I have to, deal with those comments and how you feel. And so, as I've always said, is when we're coming to add value, not take away. And it's up to you to see what it is that we're doing. And I'll leave it there.
Okay. Now, real quick, before we let you go, last. You know how this Kenyan lasts go.
Ya mwisho.
Yeah. So, food. Of the different parts of Kenya that you've traveled,
yeah,
which cuisine is your favorite cuisine, and which is your favorite dish, and tell us why?
My friend, I like, first, of course, because I'm African American, skuma wiki, which is collard greens. So you have that. You gotta love.
Gotta get your veggies.
Wiki.
Gotta get your veggies.
Yes, and I just did the ugali challenge. So if y'all go to my, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see my ugali challenge. But I am not a big fish person, but there is a fish place that I go to almost every week that's close to my office in Adams. That's called Fish Point, and it's a Lua woman that own it. Mm-hmm. And that daggone wet fry or wet dry, whatever fish is the best fish I done had in all of Kenya.
It's called a wet fry.
What is it called again?
Dry fry, y'all know it.
What's the place called again?
So
Fish Point.
Fish Point. Okay.
It's called Fish Point and Adams.
Okay.
By Toy Market. If you're ever in Nairobi, check her out. I mean, it's consistent every time. I don't know what the lady put in it. Then she has
her foot. She puts her foot in it.
Yeah, she put her foot, her ankle, her leg. She has the soup on top of it. She has the ugali, the skuma wiki. You can get some chapati. It is so good.
Okay. And have you tried out street food? Like there's some foods that I'm not even familiar with anymore. Like there's this food that I see where they take a chapati.
It was smocha.
Smocha. That one right there.
Whoa. Yeah. That thing is top tier.
Have you tried it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
like the sausage. Mm-hmm. Your sausage, and you could put kachubari.
Yeah.
And
smoky.
In the sausage, and you eat. Yeah. Oh man. Forget about
smoky
it.
pasua.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I was going to ask if she found her. What's the musician's name that Wafula? Did you have
Wafula? Or the song by
Alain?
The song by Alain.
Has she found her Wafula yet?
I don't know if she's. The
Jamaican artist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think if she's heard about the song Wafula. Have you heard that song Wafula?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I remember. I think Alain came to Nairobi to film that
Yes.
that video.
With
Yeah.
Churchill. Yeah, with Churchill.
With Churchill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think
I remember when it came out. You remember I've been coming in since 2011.
okay.
So Kenya really is really, really home.
Yeah.
For real.
So I think One Mic is asking you if you found your Wafula. That's not me, it's One Mic.
Hapana.
She really learned how to say hapana real quick.
No, not even hapana. She's Kenyan. She said
and even Pablo in the comments.
That came from like
2013.
Pablo is asking wa kesho akona mtu. I don't know whether you've ever been asked this question before. It means, loosely translated, it means, do you have a person?
Do you have our Fula?
Do you
Or
have
an
our Wafula?
I just said.
She says she hasn't found
it. No, see the mission right now is bigger than that. So I have to stay focused.
It's bigger than Wafula.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
yeah.
All right,
Don't let Wafula confuse Kilimambogo from you.
All right. Exactly.
Okay. All
So
right.
I have a question for you, which I guess Ali doesn't have, but I'll ask it anyway. So, being that you're doing, you've done all of this, and you're an army of one. Are you partnering with folks in corporate or like other entities that are like you?
Yes.
Because it seems like doing this, individually is probably not the way to go. Do you have other partners that you're partnering with?
Yeah, so I'm not doing it individually. I have a team here in Nairobi, my Kenyan team who work with me. However, we're looking at going into a partnership with Swahili Village. Shout out to Kevin.
Okay.
And some corporate partnerships. As I said before, we'll be signing our partnership with Kid Invest next week. And we should be signing our partnership with KTB so that we can kind of change some of the angles of the tourism sector. And then I cannot mention who we are meeting with, but you all will see it, that we're working with to get this thing going. So no, we're not doing it by ourselves. We also want to bring on 10 other travel companies, both local and abroad, to push this initiative, the Journey Back to You. So no, we're not doing it by ourselves.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Kia. You woke up at a very ungodly hour to be on the One Mic Show, and we really appreciate that. We will, this was so high value, it's one of those shows that I didn't know what would come out of it, but I think this is so high value, not only for Kenyans who are living in the US who are tuned in, but also, Black Americans, who are tuned in. Because remember, like we said, like the Kenyan that you met in Afghanistan, we're going to go back there because this is a very important person in a chapter in your book, because without him, we don't have this conversation. We don't have the Eden Initiative. This doesn't happen. So we don't take it for granted when we have these forums where people listen to us and make decisions that I want to go see that country. Maybe not settle, but let me just go see that country because these guys are talking about it so passionately. So we don't take this session for granted. This will be of value for years, maybe even for generations to come when people are looking back, when your grandkids are looking back, they're like, oh my goodness, this is what grandma had to go through just to get here. And that time, the second, third generation in Nairobi or maybe in a different part of Kenya, maybe even a different part of Africa.
At the 13th fall.
Yes, or maybe they'll be at the 13th fall of the 14th falls. So this is so amazing. So we really appreciate you. We're gonna give you the last word, and then we'll let you take a rest and go. What's that place called again? That place where you guys go get that ugali in the morning.
Fish Point.
Kettle House.
Aluta.
Kettle House.
Aluta, yeah. So before you go get your Aluta, one last word that you have for Kenyans here living in the U.S.
Yes. One, thank you all for just having us in your country. Kenya is a beautiful country. The people of Kenya is beautiful, which is why I kept coming to Kenya. All of these years is because of the people. And so I just want to say thank you for being the people that you are and representing who you are. And I'll forever love Kenya, even when her and I bump heads.
Okay.
So thank you. And I've been up continuously, and the birds are chirping right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I haven't went to sleep, so I just stayed up. So thank y'all so much for having me on your platform. Thank you for listening to me. I hope that I was able to shed some light and add some value to your wonderful platform. And I just love our people, period. So shout out to Kenya, shout out to everybody.
All right, before you go to sleep, behind you, is that a landline? The white thing I'm seeing on the wall, is that a landline?
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's the intercom,
it don't
right?
work. It don't work.
Is it a landline or an intercom?
It's a landline. Well, you know what? It may work, but I don't use it. So, it is what it is.
Okay. All right. Once again, Asante Sana Kia is the basic structure, and which is not.